Hello and welcome to another thrilling edition of Club Codex. Pardon my absence, I was recovering from the flu. Although from the looks of things, it seems like I haven't really recovered. It seems like I've awoken in some kind of hellscape. The markets are in turmoil. Trump's launching tariffs all over the place. It's a freaking nightmare. I don't know what to do, and I bet you don't know what to do. That's why I've summoned the council, my most esteemed, wisest advisors, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to tell you what to do in the next couple of weeks. So folks, stay tuned. We're gonna be discussing tariffs, world liberty, possibly cookies. I don't know. We'll see. So guys, thanks for being here and let's start the show.
Got that CDX token, we the ones chosen. Every stake, every new wallet stay golden. Codex Club, AI my focus, it's an anthem. CDX got them frozen.
Jarvis, get me better entries on those cryptos. Jarvis, get me better entries on those cryptos.
Is that true? How you guys doing today? We getting good entries on these cryptos today, fellas?
Fabulous.
Okay, I forgot I was supposed to introduce you guys just in case. Today we've got the illustrious Charles, the magnificent Beebus, and a super secret special guest. I'm going to pop him on right now. I'm going to surprise him, just jump scare him. Hello, Anthony. How are you doing today?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Howdy.
Thanks for having me.
Howdy.
Awesome,
Nice
awesome to have you. Anthony, you're from Cookie 3. You know, we've been working closely with you guys here at Codex, and we're so excited to have you in the club for the first time ever.
Guys, I'm excited. Fuck yeah. I've been listening to a couple of your, what do you call it? Codex Club calls. Yeah, is that official name?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, happy to jump straight into it.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it, guys. I think the first order of business is, well, let me start with something. I think I identify this as the most important thing when I overcame my illness here was Shrek music royalties are now for sale, RWA style. Here you can buy the rights to the Shrek soundtrack and generate 10.7% APR. Huge moment here for crypto, right?
We're so back.
Yeah.
Now, this is an asset that
What market don't?
I could get behind.
Look, innovation is happening everywhere around the corner as long as you're looking. Sale price $2.2 million. You guys think that's a fair price for the Shrek soundtrack? I think Smash Mouth's in there. Seems a little lowball.
Yeah, I mean, if the Smash Mouth song is in there, I feel like total no-brainer. We should maybe all combine our resources and buy it. The world's best investment opportunity.
That might be our next move here if things do not improve, but I'm confident they will. But in a serious matter here, this is what I think we're all really interested in. This huge wick here over the weekend. I guess before the weekend, Trump announced some tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and it caused some market movements, I guess you could say, is putting it lightly. I was doing the math here over the weekend, something like 700 billion removed from the crypto market over the 3 days. As you can see, we've kind of recovered here, settled at 3.25 trillion, but pretty brutal. I have a theory on what happened here, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this was you guys think this is the bottom? Do you think this is the beginning of some more pain or what? Do you think these tariffs even matter for crypto?
I'll jump in. I think they definitely do matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Trump, I think when he announced them, he was saying like maybe 10%, maybe 20%. No one really thought 25%. And now that they're going into effect, I think tomorrow, it was kind of very, very quick and very extreme. And no one really expected him to jump on this so rapidly. So I think that reaction somewhat warranted. I mean, it's just who really knows what's going to happen, because like today he had a meeting with, or yesterday or whatever, had a meeting with the Mexican president, and he's pausing the tariffs on Mexico for at least a month. They said they had a very productive meeting. So like, yeah, maybe I won't get into it just yet, but it's their political tariffs are a political tool. So it just depends on how, what countries are gonna bow the knee, are gonna bend the knee, and like how, just negotiations with this orange man are gonna go, because they do matter. It's just no one's really expecting him to actually levy 25% tariffs for an extended period of time, because that's going to hurt the U.S. economy as well. So,
and Charles, I just want to clarify for the audience that you're Canadian, right?
I am Canadian.
That's true.
Yeah.
Biased here.
Look, we're in shambles right now, and we need to.
He's quaking in his snow boots.
Yeah, I don't know. Our relationships with Trump have been pretty shitty in the past. Him and Trudeau, like, they don't like each other. Trudeau like stepped down, and now he's like kind of back. It's a mess. It's a mess. We don't need this. We have enough problems. So I don't know. I hope that they can kind of follow in the Mexican president's footsteps and maybe just kowtow just even a little bit, so we don't get these tariffs.
What do we want out of Canada?
Good. You want natural gas. You want oil. You want lumber.
I think he might mean like what is the point of the tariffs? Which, from my as you said, it's a political thing.
Like why are we like levering the tariffs right
because now? Okay, so in Trump's words, the danger from the north is drugs coming across the border. So like the tariffs, obviously they're not like taxing drugs, but like fentanyl, he named fentanyl a few times. He's like, this is a problem.
I mean, I feel like that's a scapegoat. What do we really want out of this?
Exactly. So who knows what's happening behind closed doors? That's the public messaging, is like, you need to figure out your drug situation and then we'll be nicer. And from Mexico, it's like, you need to figure out the immigration problem. I will say immigration, like, I think that is actually what the discussion is centered around, internally as well, because immigration has been kind of an issue. But
from Canada to the US?
I don't really know. Yeah, no, from Mexico. But like from the other direction, I don't really know what we're like. Maybe he's actually worried about drugs. I don't really know what his angle is. And I don't know what he wants.
Maybe he's trying to get Barachain to launch sooner.
Yeah. I hope we could. I feel like the Canadian government can get behind that and really put some pressure on these bears.
That's like the most Canadian team I know. And I feel like Trump is probably just like, dude, just launch the chain already, guys.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
but
who knows? Yeah.
I know some hockey players get Barachain shipped, and then maybe like some of those African child mines that you guys manage, you can give some of that stuff.
Wow. I had no idea Canada was into such nasty business like that. I kind of think
Canada has a dark side. Canada has a dark side. That's why they have to telegraph such niceness, because they got those African child mines. Unless I'm mistaken, Charles.
I honestly have no idea.
A lot of pressure on Charles. Charles,
you actually represent the entire country of Canada on this podcast. So
good. I was gonna say, okay, so like tariffs, the reason I say this is a purely political play is because there's generally no reason, like there's generally no good economic reason to impose tariffs. Tariffs are, they're taxes on free trade, they're restrictions, and free trade, it's a widely researched and agreed upon fact that free trade is good. Capital controls and restrictions on trade are generally distortionary and not net welfare improving. So
could he just be scaring people and just intentionally trying to create uncertainty so that as a hedge against future kind of crazy tariffs, people are investing further into more integrated U.S. companies? Because I feel like if you're scaring a bunch of firms into reallocating, and doing it on a Friday as well, or on a Saturday is like, we see probably a bunch of foreign institutions selling and whatnot, and then Monday America wakes up and buys the dip. So there could be a little bit of strategy involved. He could just be trying to telegraph uncertainty. But overall,
Yeah.
it seems like it happened, and then there's instant backpedaling from him and the GOP, which tells me I don't think there was a lot of strategy involved here. I think it was just like, let's start delivering on promises as soon as possible and let the pieces fall where they may.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if you want to hop in here, Anthony. I don't want to put you on the spot, but just if you got anything to throw in here, because I might take this in a separate direction here real quick.
So I think I'm the only European here today. So
You're
let
next.
me. I may be actually, but this is the last, hopefully, term of Trump according to the U.S. Constitution, right? So we may expect nothing but volatility. This man, like, he doesn't think about the next term, and also like. In my impression, he's a counter example is Biden, who's very boring, especially when he hit the dementia stuff. So then, so I would expect more Friday or Saturday evening radical, decisions from his side. We as crypto thought that we are going up only. We want a BTC reserves. Now we got the trade war, and I think more wars are about to happen. Maybe not literally, hopefully, but for the financial markets, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it is like, I think we needed a leverage flush anyway. Usually we see a bunch of technical selling in Q4. And Q1 is really hot. But instead in Q4, we saw a bunch of like people excited about Trump, hyped up, going crazy. And so the market has just been on edge for so long. And I think what we're seeing, especially if you look at AI coins, if you look at the hottest narratives, we're seeing just like a rapid reallocation. Meme coins are getting killed, low value tokens, assets, et cetera, are getting killed. And I think that's like somewhat healthy. Like the market is consolidating very, very quickly. I don't think people are necessarily moving into stables. I think we see a lot of people that have been sidelined, just buying spot right now, which is great. And there's a lot of spot buyers that have been sidelined because everybody has been levered to the tits. Interest rates have been super high. And now we're just seeing people pay the price. And, people like me, people like, I'm sure, all of you who don't mess with too much leverage, this is just like kind of a killer opportunity for us. Hopefully we can make some freaking money.
Well, I think I saw today news that actually we hit the new record when it comes to stables minted on chain. It stood at like 250 billion. I don't know if I'm messing around with the numbers right now. So people, I think they are just trying to escape the volatile market and at least realize some profits.
Yeah, biggest growth indicator for the market is net increases in stable coins. And so like things are still really bullish. I think we're still in the midst of a bull market, just a classic bull market turbo correction. And the thing is, like, this was more than was liquidated during the FTX fiasco, Genesis 3AC, whatever, more than the COVID crash. And Bitcoin is still like 95K or whatever the hell it is right now. It's been crazy all day. And I think that's just a sign of strength and maturity. And frankly, like this has been the most bullish crash that we've seen in a while. And I think it clears the skies for some upside 2-3 months from now.
You need to be posting this kind of stuff on the timeline because I'm seeing people crying, wailing, gnashing their teeth. The sky is falling. It's the end of days, dude.
Dude, if you have the time to just be on Twitter all day, you're probably trading on leverage. You're probably, maybe in a country, maybe unemployed, etc.
Maybe in a country. You might be living in a country. If
in a country,
it's a safe bet.
In a country that is not the United States or a first world country.
Well, I mean, to your point, though, I think this was to your point about this being the biggest liquidation event I think ever so far. I think it ties to the tariffs in that it was kind of just like a shaking of the tree. It's kind of this volatility, like Anthony is saying, and we could probably expect it continuously. Whether or not it's intentional or not, I kind of take the opposite side. I think it was pretty intentional to say it right before the weekend, then to walk it back as like a negotiation technique to say like, sit on this and then we'll talk. But I don't know, maybe I'm giving too much credit here, but he did shake the tree. And I think we did see, a massive correction in the markets here. I have this from Ben Zhao from Bybit saying most people were saying it was about 2 billion liquidated, but in his estimation, it's probably around more around $8 to $10 billion in liquidations. So I think
it's nuts.
The classic thing happened here where, people reacted sharply to the tariffs being announced because most people thought it was just going to be a bluff. And in some ways, it still is a bluff because he walked it back the next day, at least in Mexico. But
dude. Most destructive bluff in history.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who's paying attention, who like pays attention to macroeconomics, knows that like saying I'm putting a blanket 25% tariff on everything coming from the north and the south is a complete he's just like he's just pulling out his what and waving it around, and he'll put it back in his pants eventually. But like but yeah, like
wait,
Bitcoin is over 100K again.
Yeah. We're seeing, I mean, we saw that total market cap. There was that wick got filled like crazy, dude. Like we bounced back hard. I think the demand is still there, obviously.
Can
you play the Trump clip again?
Have you seen AI coins?
Dude, they're going vertical. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
dude, and we get to
only the hardest CDX. Of assets.
We get to launch CDX in like after the biggest leverage flush of all time, which is like, the most beautiful opportunity.
Yeah,
everybody with real money, everybody with that's price insensitive, can still bid, and that's the exciting thing. Is like weak hands is just code for you maybe don't have a job and you maybe live beyond your means. Strong hands are just people that don't give a shit about price because it's like you have income, you don't need to worry about shit going up and down. And that's like really positive for the markets. It's just people with jobs are buying the dip. And then all the perps traders, all the people buying on leverage or people buying more than they should, are getting wrecked as always. So it just is what it is. It's a net positive.
Yeah, I think I had a post here from Miles Dusher where he was pointing out that the sector with the strongest relative strength is DeFi AI, up 5%, while other narratives show a negative correlation. We're doing a little shuffling here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So for us here on this call, not bad, guys.
Oh yeah, we're all in neck deep in DeFi AI. So just pointing out.
And just for more general hopium here, I also wanted to point out, it's also good for our metrics, Antonio. I know it sounds we're talking about Trump a lot here, but he really gets algo pickup, dude. We got
dude, he knows this.
The World Liberty Finance project, I guess. They've been accumulating 86,000 ETH over the last couple of hours. So like, if you want to take this as like a big firm buying, the pressure is still there on the buy side for even our blue chips, right?
Where do they get all that money?
They're doing that because it's their first cycle.
The U.S.
and
Treasury.
They haven't realized that ETH is a terrible asset.
Yeah,
ETH is going to the moon.
So they're going to capitulate at some point and then start bear posting ETH.
Is this also first cycle behavior? Treasury swaps with a 10% premium.
It's like the 10% is like a marketing fee.
Yeah,
honestly, dude, fuck it. It's like they're just becoming like a holdco. I don't even think they should launch the lending platform. They should just be a holding company. And they're probably, the game plan is probably we're going to be a holding company and we're going to make these assets borrowable so we can earn yield on our own platform. But they'll probably win the game just being a holdco long term. Like getting into the DeFi, launching the protocol, managing the risk, etc., is probably not even worth their time at this point. And if they can keep getting like 10% discounts, buying everybody's bags, like why not? That's cool. And and they're using the World Liberty Fi, their valueless governance token, to do it. So good for them. And does it even have liquidity?
I don't think so. I don't know. I can't even access it. I'm not a KYC.
Dude, liquidity is bearish.
Dude, the 10% discount plus they're buying in WL5 tokens is like, if they keep pulling this off, they're beast in my book. They pulled off the $50 billion retail Slaughterfest meme coin, and now they're.
Then they pulled off the tariff scare, and now they're.
That's
what
I'm
three-pronged
saying.
approach,
dude.
That's what I'm saying. I think this might be
Jarvis,
true.
get me better entries on those cryptos. Jarvis, get.
Like it's true. I feel like that's actually the plan here, dude. It seems like it's just attack after attack after attack, and you're just scooping and scooping and scooping. But that's just me being royal. But yeah, on this point too, I thought this was a pretty funny like little thing. We're making routine movements of our crypto holdings as part of regular treasury management. This is what the dev says when they're dumping on the chart,
Yeah.
This full stack Hitler, and we're just doing routine treasury management. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just taking a little risk off the table here, guys.
Reallocating. So I think they got a strong and bright future here. And last thing I want to say about here in current events is tomorrow, our SAR, cryptocurrency czar. I still think it's really weird here in America that we have czars for some reason.
It's so strange.
It's like I don't really get why. I thought anyway.
I think it just means like unelected official.
Well, yeah, it's like an appointed person, but like I always thought like that's what the departments were for. Like the president appoints like the head of the department and they handle it.
Yeah, but yeah, presidents just love inventing ways to do illegal stuff.
I mean, that's how you make your name stick in the history books. Is you invent some new department or whatever. But if you want a little something to speculate around here, David Sachs from what's this podcast? Not Up Only.
The All In podcast.
All In. All In. He says he's going to be making a speech discussing the leadership plan for crypto. So this is, I'm assuming what he's going to say is after Trump has accumulated 10 trillion Ethereums, he's going to say we're going to make Ethereum the national reserve currency or something crazy.
In
like
2016, in like 2014, 2015, 2016, when podcasts started going parabolic, did you ever think that one day our country would be just run by podcasters? The dumbest class of human being.
We're on a podcast. What are we doing right now?
No.
I never would have thought. Look at what Joe Rogan did, dude. Joe Rogan rose from Fear Factor, making people eat bugs, to
we should just
making the president.
We should quit beating around the bush. We should stop onboarding Joe Rogan proxies and just let's elect the man himself. Okay, let's get Joe Rogan in.
I feel like he'd probably do numbers, dude. Like scary numbers, to be honest.
I feel like he would probably be okay.
You think so,
dude? Fuck it. Why not?
Dude, here's a man
Beast, dude. The Mr. Beast Joe Rogan president vice president combo. Could you imagine?
I actually could imagine it, and I am liking it.
It would be cool if that was the administration where America's downfall happened. Historians, like 100 years from now, will look back and be like, "Wow, it was so incredibly obvious."
They'd start selling like elk jerky under like a Mr. Beast label, like presidential elk jerky, and it'll be in every Walmart. Awesome. No more meme coins. We're selling Mr. Beast products.
Every child will be eating Feastables.
Yeah.
What's that product Joe Rogan sells? He sells like a Good Brain or something like that. It's like
Alpha Brain, and then like there's Alpha Brain, and then there are all his like ape products.
Oh, he's got ape products too. Okay, yeah, I like the sound of that. I could get behind that,
dude. Monkeys are cool.
I feel like if that happened though, like China and Russia and Iran would immediately just declare war. Like this is like
Joe Rogan and Mr. Beast, dude. I feel like Mr. Beast would go ham in a world war.
If Mr. Beast became president, Squid Game would literally become real. We would literally implement it on the national scale.
Dude, that would be awesome. Wow, what a world.
Yeah.
Soon, guys. Soon, everybody.
And with the blockchain, we can make this possible. No, but seriously, let's move on to something nearer and dear and closer to our heart here. Cookie, we got Anthony here. We've been subjecting him to our ramblings on politics and the like. But Cookie 3, look, I got this.
Sir.
I don't know if you want to share, if you want to demo, show off the site for us here, because I'm kind of a noob. I come on here and I look at Mindshare and I'm just like, damn, how do I get that?
Bro, you don't even have the premium version. Let me pull it up if I can.
Yes, dude.
Right?
Yes, dude. I actually do. I think I just forgot to log in, but this was all a ploy to get you to drive it.
Sure.
give me a
Forgot to
second.
log in.
Mhm.
Sure, bud.
Do you
That's
have
what they all say.
the, Do you have the present button on your side?
Let me check.
To get this cup took me like 7 hours of.
Hold it up. Let's see.
Oh,
What was
yeah.
it? All right.
This cup, I had to literally for 7 hours go to local businesses in Roswell. The prize was this cup.
That's it. Let's see. You were
Was it
airdrop
worth it?
hunting pretty much. Yeah, I think. Look, I got us up here in the
Right.
corners like we're on like a
Glow in the dark cup.
TV show here. But dude, oh wow.
Right.
I
Yeah.
do
So
need this,
so we added because there was some update today. We added C Cookie BFAI hackathon projects. The registration is closed, so the guys are already working on it. But we can check who's participating. Last time I checked was actually 3 hours ago. So new projects are added
Wow.
regularly. But let's get down to DFAI. So what's quite cool is we added categories. So if you come here, you can choose whatever you are trading, meme framework. Let's go to DeFi straight away. And yeah, that's what I've been talking about. The market cap change in 24 hours. And so it's been, I think the Grift is like a winner after the weekend. With the Mindshare actually growing, with the price growing, it's quite crazy. Even Griffin, even though it smashed from 500 mil to 200, it's 150 even. It's growing, and I think we can see our friend somewhere here. Here we go. I have it on my watch list.
Here he is, Big Tony.
Big Tony. Yeah, so the chart, it is what it is, right? But as we all know, Trump doesn't make it better. But what I saw is that the Mindshare is quite stable. So that's quite a bullish sign. And the holders are actually, they're growing, but not that much. HHI index, very nerdy stuff, but it actually essentially says how centralized the token is. And basically anything above 300 is really bad. Don't touch this. If it's 1K, run away as fast as possible. And 100 is pretty decent too. We can see that top 10 hold 25%, which is all right. Yeah, so that's essentially what Cookie Free provides on Cookie Fun. If you are like a data nerd and you want to check how Big Tony is doing, here you go, Justin.
Wow. I'm the smartest follower ever.
Wow. Insane. So if we want to capture more mindshare, do we have to displace Beavis? Is that what's holding us back?
Yeah.
He's our smartest follower.
Pretty much, yeah.
We need to get bigger, faster, stronger, smart followers.
How do you guys calculate the mindshare? It's like weighting on smart followers and then also like engagement off of their posts, or can you tell me the secret sauce?
We are fetching all Web3 related tweets. So we captured like hundreds of thousands of accounts, and we are checking what they are posting. And if one of the posts mentions Big Tony by either a ticker, by the Twitter handle, by a specific keyword, we take it as a one unit, let's say, and then compare it to the whole Web3 space. And that's how we know how much of conversations about Big Tony or any other tokens.
And how rewarding is it to just post more? I think, something that's pretty interesting is people like Ansem. I think he kind of popularized this style of tweeting. He's able to suck up a lot of mind share just by posting like 100 times a day. And Jesse is the same way, just constantly posting, replying, throwing metrics into the mix. Is that really high signal for your mind share algorithm, or do you kind of weight against that sort of behavior?
Yeah, so for Ansem, it's a good strategy because he has already big account.
Yeah.
If, for example, me, I crossed 2K in the weekend, right? So
Congrats.
thank you. So even though I could mention Tony 100 times a day, the mindshare is really, really small.
Yeah.
Because the mindshare is generated by all accounts, right? So if Binance tomorrow mentions Big Tony, the mindshare goes up. So that's how we calculate it's called mindshare or smart reach, whatever you call it. But we take all the accounts on Twitter into the final calculations.
And is it impressions, or is it like if you post about Tony, you're generally not going to get as many impressions, or are you looking at number of followers you have?
Yeah, so it's a combination of impressions and engagement.
Okay.
Because one thing is getting the impressions, but you can buy them, right? If I give you 100K, you can give me as many impressions I can get on Twitter from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, for respect to these countries, but that's where the bots are being bought. So that's why we also implement the smart followers, because you cannot buy, I don't know, a like or a retweet from legit. I mean, from the KOLs, you obviously can buy them, but it's much difficult. It's much more difficult to Sybil to bot.
Gotcha.
Clever, very clever,
very interesting.
Now,
thank you, sirs.
Now, from your privileged perspective here, as the cookie man, you get this wide view of the AI market. How do you feel about how it's shaping up? Do you think that we're beginning to see leaders, or do you still think we're in like a really frothy state here? Because it seems like there's a lot. This is like new agents every day.
Yeah. So my thesis is now that, first of all, we are getting away from these simple conversational agents. I think that people got excited in October and November, but it got pretty boring. At the end of the day, you want to interact with people that you know on Twitter, either digitally or through in real life events. So my bet, and I guess I know that yours too, is on DeFi. But what's missing in DeFi right now is actual money, right? So if you go to Griffin, Hey Anon, I don't know what's VVDV doing here, but Grift, and also Codex right now, there's literally no money. So when the liquidity will be pumped into DeFi, I think that sector will be actually most bullish. And all these normal agents will eventually not find product market fit, maybe except for like the OGs like Gold and Cerebro, AIXBT maybe, but we'll see if their algorithm of finding data will be actually that efficient.
And like the novelty of like the entertainment wears off. If it's funny to like laugh at an agent, or like, oh, that's cool that, wow, he found some research. That wears off pretty quickly. I agree with you there.
Yeah, I think we were talking like even a couple months ago about how people were really yearning for real products that they can use and engage with and assess fundamentally. And we see a lot of the meme coin hype, which seems to be somewhat endless, but at the very least, like a lot of the people who are finding some success there are looking for opportunities that are a little less ephemeral, so to speak. And I think the interesting thing about the AI season was it was like, okay, here's something with similar market structures and dynamics to meme coins, because a lot of the early AI projects were either launch pads like virtuals or agents launched on launch pads. So you have like the illiquidity, you have the hyper volatility. And so, people are kind of, instead of going down the risk curve, they're going up the risk curve. They're starting to make money. And they're looking for ways to preserve capital a little more. And I think really like a big issue that I'm seeing that I think will be quite persistent is a lot of these projects, especially the ones that are launched on Sol, are pretty illiquid. And especially people who expect to actively trade these things, they're really hard to trade. If you look at the volatility in the past 24 hours, even, there are a lot of people who probably lost their exposure in the downturn and may never get it back. So I'm really interested to see how the market matures and how people's expectations of these AI projects change over time. And that's like, I'm thinking like, if I just discovered AI 2 months ago and started looking into it, what do I want now? Okay, I want tangible product. We're seeing that right now in DeFi. What am I going to want 2, 3, 4 months from now? That's, I think, how we're going to maybe get ahead. And what does the AI market or DeFi generally, or AIX crypto generally, what does it look like when it's mature? If we use like DeFi as an analog, DeFi had this huge speculative premium, and then slowly but surely, protocols started getting valued based on cash flow. And there was a while where these things were hugely mismatched, and people were writing off these huge chunks of tokens on their balance sheet. DeFi was just totally dead and kind of remains that way up until this point. But after years of Aave's price to earnings ratio being like between 50 and 100, it's starting to normalize. We're seeing that with Aave. We're seeing that with Morpho. We're seeing that with Uniswap across the board. And as they lose the premium, now it's like, okay, here's the maturity. Here's what people want. And now to me, DeFi is, and of course, like this is a mature market, so it operates on much longer time frames. But I feel like DeFi is going to kind of speed run that, where it's like, okay, people are tired of the high volatility, they're tired of the illiquidity, they want fundamentals, and I think most importantly, from Cookie's perspective, is they want metrics that they can use to grade these protocols. What are the benchmarks that I can use to inform my investment thesis or inform my capital allocation? And so platforms like Cookie, platforms like Arkham, I see kind of this two-sided, power, where it's like on one side you have all this data that is amazing to sell to AI creators, and on the other side, because you are building those relationships and building that flow, you can kind of define what is investable and what isn't investable. And so, I see something like Cookie, and I'm like, that's a good ass project. And I'm not to glaze, but I'm excited to see kind of what the market zeroes in on while TVL is low, because I don't think TVL is a great metric, to be honest. But what is the market going to zero in on to value AI projects?
That's the one. Fartcoin, man, it stands as a top mindshare gainer in the last 14 days. And also it went up just 60% in 24 hours, I believe, almost hitting $1. So I'm sorry to maybe disappoint you on your monologue, but yeah, Fartcoin seems like that's the biggest traction. But I have a question for you, Justin. Like I was wondering, because you mentioned tangible products, right? And in DeFi, I feel like all the KOLs and all the experts and even all the builders are still talking about this abstract idea of having real AI on-chain trading agents and LLMs on top of blockchain, but I haven't seen actually anyone playing around with these tools like we do with LLMs such as ChatGPT, with Claude, with Perplexity. When I firstly used Perplexity, I wanted to show it to everyone, right? I remember when I was sitting with my girlfriend on a dinner, I was showing her Perplexity, how good it actually is,
Yeah.
because it has this magic moment. But I feel like DeFi still lacks it. Did you come across any product or any hint of a product that was really, that magical?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't personally demoed anything yet that made me feel like I felt when I first used Perplexity or when I first used ChatGPT. And, I think something that was a really strong indicator to me was, I'm not generally one to shell out for premium products. I'm like a cheap bastard. I use ChatGPT and I signed up for the premium subscription literally like that day. And right now, everything I'm using right now, I'm like, how much better is this than my current workflow? Do we see a 10x improvement to the user experience, which is what ChatGPT offered us, and which is what you generally look like when you're investing? Where's the 5 to 10x in improvement that would warrant a changing of habits? I haven't seen that, and the closest that I think we've gotten, and I hate to be a bastard here, but I think it's like got to be Codex, simply because it's fun. And I think that's where ChatGPT really got me. Was I'm tired as shit of Google serving me stupid ads all the time. I'm tired of seeing the same layout and the same 5 SEO optimized platforms shoved to the top of my feed that are very low signal. And ChatGPT was able to distill the process of searching for information into one that is more fun and interactive. And I think Codex doesn't look a lot like ChatGPT or Perplexity. I don't know if it ever will. And I think that's a good thing. Like, searching for investments or interacting with the markets is not like Googling something. We don't need to look at the chatbot interface as our kind of pie in the sky vision. What we're looking at, what is the equivalent for finance? It's like a managed product or an ETF. Okay, how can we use AI to achieve the same in a way that's more approachable, more interactive, more intuitive? And I think really it's like the delegated asset management or the delegated portfolio management, and being able to fine tune your prompt, being able to dive in and interact. I'm like kind of in love with our app, and I'm hoping that people rip us off. I'm hoping that more people try to figure out, okay, how do we create a novel experience instead of just trying to make a chatbot? That's what I'm interested in. And yeah, so very biased opinion, but I think Codex right now is the closest, and I'm hoping we can put it in everybody's hands soon.
I mean, we are in Club Codex, so it goes without saying that we're going to be really bullish Codex, right? But I agree with you, Anthony, where I think there's not really like that kind of eureka moment. And I like Beavis, I think the Codex demos that we've been seeing have been kind of the closest, where it's actually fairly intuitive to engage with the product and play with it. Yeah. Personally, my favorite is the weightings, right? Because when I think about this stuff, I'm low IQ, right? I got a bunch of low IQ friends, and I think, how can we, what a lot of low IQ guys like me love is ChatGPT, because it makes a lot of work easier, right? So you could just throw anything in there. You can throw your book report in there, and it'll give you like something serviceable. Something similar to that here with your portfolio, and then the easy tweakings you can do with the weightings to kind of manipulate how the trades are happening without having to be too knowledgeable. I think we still got a ways to go in terms of UI and actually like productifying this, like making it into like a consumable product.
Making it scalable.
Yeah, and making it like as accessible. I mean, it's not going to look like ChatGPT, right? But the thing about ChatGPT is like when you land on it, you know exactly what to do, right? Like, you
Yeah.
know, I just ask it what I want. Getting to that point with it is where we're at. I don't know if you've got any, Anthony, that you've seen that are like comparable in terms of like ease to pick up and just play with, but I'd be curious.
Not really. To be honest, it's all about LLMs on top of already available data being put together. But quite often it's super laggy. It's missing the insights that are quite obvious. It's not based on real-time data. So at the end of the day, why we love Perplexity is that we can actually ask something that happened 1 hour ago. It can give us the sources. It's a complete product. I don't expect that all DeFi products already hit the product market fit and are perfect when it comes to latency and user experience and accessibility. But I haven't experienced this magic moment. Obviously, I've been playing around with Codex. I set up quite a lot of my AI agents. Still, the UI is a bit clunky. I know it's a first version, so it's just going to be better and better. But as of right now, I fell in love with the idea. I haven't fallen in love with the product itself. But I think that anyone who touches trading will simply use it.
Yeah, I think we're in the vision stage right now, and like even talking about the latency, like there are a bunch of optimizations that can solve for that for the chatbot experience as well. And I'm just looking forward to people figuring it out. And I think, and I've said this before, I think we all just need to remember, like, this is brand new. Like, hey, Anon is going to get better. Orbit is going to get better. Griff AI and Hive and all this stuff is going to just improve every month. And what I'm most excited for is seeing where everybody kind of finds their place. You know, who's optimizing for what. Like Hive right now is becoming a dashboard. You know, Orbit is leaning really heavily into, you know, becoming the sort of search engine. Griffin is kind of in between, and you know, Hey Anon is trying to handle execution and some other stuff like that. And right now, like I'm floating between Perplexity and ChatGPT and some of these other tools, and it'll be cool if we can all pull it off. And I'm just excited about the future of the vertical, generally speaking.
Right on. I know I'm excited for the future of the vertical as well, and I bet Cookie is as well. Let's talk a little bit. I mean, we're kind of running up close to the time here, but let's talk a little bit about current things, if we can, that we're doing or that Cookie is doing. Multi-airdrop farming alert. I got this across my desk. What is this? A multi-airdrop farming alert.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So what we can see here is all the data points. By the way, they're also available through the API that we're providing for multiple companies such as Codex, and all the DeFi hackathon projects have the access to it as well. So if anyone who's listening is also a builder, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to get you onboarded. And the second thing is multi-airdrop farming, right? So we are helping projects with either the tech. So we built previously like a marketing analytics tools that help projects launch their token or launch their product or do whatever GTM there is. We also have, you know, Discord marketing. So let me pull it up. We have a page, cookie.community. And here is this sub page by Cookie DAO. It's called multi-airdrop farming. So if you own Cookie tokens, and I know it sounds salesy, but if you like airdrops, I'm going to say it this way.
You know what I like more than airdrops?
Cookies.
I like cookies. And that's why I align myself with the Cookie brand. If you could stake for like cookies, like some gourmet, like crumble cookies delivered to your door, I would honestly, like,
That's
I swear to
that's the
God,
next
I would
token
probably
utility.
stake a shit ton of cookie tokens.
Yeah.
The only true token utility.
Bro,
So
Anthony
if
hit
you
me up. I made cookies yesterday, and they're really, really good. So if you need a baker
what kind of
to get this
cookies? Is it?
chocolate chip, man, brown butter chocolate chip cookies.
He's celebrating the
goat
death of the
cookies.
Canadian economy by making.
Yeah. The last batch of cookies he'll be able to eat for the next 4 years.
But you will have
Only
enough
rice
maple
now.
syrup, right?
Yeah.
No American will buy from you.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff. Getting back to the topic, you can stake your cookies, and therefore be eligible for the airdrop. And Codex has also joined us. I guess we'll list you guys right here in this honorable crowd next week. So if anyone would like Codex airdrop, it will be available just here.
Wow,
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's beautiful. All the stars are here.
We love Codex airdrop. And speaking of, we've been running a little points program. I don't know if you're aware of this, Anthony, where we've been tricking people into making content for us in exchange for Codex points.
And the points
so-
actually convert not to tokens, but to cookies, like real life cookies. That they'll be
No.
Just kidding.
Hey, no, let's not joke about the points, dude. I don't want people
We're serious about
attacking me with hammers. Okay. So we've got I've only got two content creators this week. We've got Surgeon, who's made a nice thread here, or I guess post, about Big Tony being live on Solana. And we've also got an article. Who is this by? Francesco Webb. 3. So thank you guys so much. You guys are gonna be getting some.
Dude,
Toast.
we got to get Anthony some
Great
points. We got to get Anthony some points for that
for
article
that.
you wrote.
Yeah. Go to
It was very
Anthony's
good.
article. That was a good.
Yeah.
It's
Plus,
my Twitter handle is Anthony
Mhm.
_ Web3.
Wow.
Man, it's
Francesco
even- it's
Web3
even
and
10.
Anthony Web3.
Whoa, wait,
the Web3
dude.
family.
You're a
the Web3
schizo poster
dynasty.
just like me, bro. That's crazy. I'm gonna hit you with a follow. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I guess we can give Anthony's a couple points. Okay, we'll throw him a couple points. Why not? You know.
What a day.
I mean, I think the story of Codex right now is like, a story of really organic growth, and it's thanks to people like you, Anthony, and Francesco. We really appreciate the support, and we will make the world's greatest DeFi AI product. Or you can strike me down.
So
Okay.
how can people earn the points? Because that's the first time I hear about this. Is it social
thank you so much for
farming
asking.
only?
Yeah, we award points for making threads, graphics. We kind of just pick from what we get tagged in on the Twitter. So we choose generally 3 winners a week, and then we also award points. We're trying to get people in the Discord to interact with us, and I think it's starting to grow just because that's how we're doing the demo now. People are starting to see some real value for being involved in the Discord. But we also award points to 3 randomly selected winners who are live watching this stream in the Discord right now. And this is actually how we do that one, Anthony. So if you guys out there want to earn some Codex points, which I know you do, just tag us, create some content for us, explain, show off your agent. You know what I mean? If you made one, that's a surefire way to get some attention. But other than that, we've got this. This is the other way. We like to, this is crypto. We all love gambling. We all love random chance. We got a wheel weirdness spin. We're going to give away 3 sets of tokens to winners.
Wow.
Let's see. We got. Go on.
Bogland.
That's a new
Bogland?
name.
New name.
Oh, God. I forgot that the sound was there, dude. Well, I guess we're going to have to hear
Horrifying.
that eventually. Yeah, terrifying. How do I...
I got some breaking news
Hit me with
right
it.
at the end of the show here. Justin Trudeau, our prime minister, said that the tariffs are going to be paused for at least 30 days. So following in Mexico's footsteps,
Wow.
he seems to come to some agreement with Trump, which is really good.
Flawless American victory. Thank you, President Trump.
As part of the deal, Canada will be implementing a $1.3 billion border plan, protecting the border with 10,000 frontline personnel. Okay, here's a good one. Appointing a fentanyl czar to reduce drug trade. Why are the czars
to make the fentanyl better than ever?
Yeah,
Dude,
it's pure.
This is real. U.S. Canada joint strike force. New intelligence directive. Anyways, Canada struck a deal with the ultimate deal maker himself.
Wow, we did it, boys.
Thanks.
Finally, we can keep those damn freaking Canucks out of here.
Is that an offensive term, Canuck?
It's. I mean, okay. If
we need to become
Canuck,
more racist toward Canadians. I feel like we're.
I've been doing my research. I know his plans before they even unfold, bro.
Amazing. Yeah, I feel like Canadians. Never mind. I was going to say something that would be so offensive.
Some unsavory Beavis opinions.
Right. We have tens of Canadians watching. How dare you?
We
have at least 2, and they're both.
I
on the
love
team,
Canada.
So.
Canada's freaking dope. Dope people. Everybody I know from Canada is awesome.
I'm glad we could come to some sort of agreement with Canada. I'm still kind of puzzled, really about like the fentanyl smuggling through Canada. I wasn't aware that this was a thing.
Yeah.
Let me regale you guys with a story here in the last couple of minutes. And if you should look into this, it's a very interesting news story. So in Philadelphia, famous neighborhood in there that's got like a bunch of fentanyl addicts, like people like on the streets, like nodding off and stuff. Very bad. Apparently, how it happens there, though, is the Mexican drug cartels and the Chinese drug companies compete. They like export fentanyl there. They send it to drug dealers, but they don't personally come onto like the soil, right? So like you have local gangs that get contacted by Mexican cartels or Chinese drug manufacturers over Telegram, and they say, here's my price for fentanyl, I'll have it delivered to your PO box or whatever. But what's crazy is they engage in gang warfare via the same method. So in the same way that you would organize like a Telegram group to like pump a meme coin, they organize Telegram groups to do hits on each other. They'll be like rival gangs. I'll give you your next kilo for free if you blow up this guy's house. It's crazy.
Dude.
Holy shit.
I don't know how the border guards are going to help with this, but at least maybe they're making steps in the right direction.
Canada, the next country to imprison the CEO of Telegram.
Is he there?
Dude.
No, he's like in Switzerland or something, right?
No, I don't know where he is.
Anyway, that was my little fentanyl story. Not related to crypto at all, but I want to thank you guys for showing up. Thank you so much for joining us, Anthony. It was a pleasure having you here. You should come back again soon. Beavis, thank you so much. Charles, I really appreciate your time. And thank you to all of you who watched, who showed up and are watching this later. We really appreciate you tuning in. And I guess that's it. Unless do we have anything we want to say about Codex before we go? Beavis, anything?
Spam tag Codex so that we can rise up the mindshare charts. That should be your job all day, every day, everybody. If we're not number 1 on Cookie 3 in the next week, nobody's getting any points. How about that?
Holy shit, dude!
Oh my god!
I'm putting a tariff on points until we're number 1 on mindshare.
Oh my god! I can't believe you're saying this in front of Anthony too. Yeah, some points, dude. So now we're bound to win.
Whoops.
But, all right. Well, thanks so much, everybody. We'll catch you next week. Stay tuned to the Codex X account in our Discord. You never know what news will be dropping over the course of the week. Adios, folks.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Got that CDX token, we the ones chosen. Every state, every new wallet stay golden. Codex Club, AI my focus, it's an anthem. CDX got them frozen.